Truck Talk Media.
C10 Talk, episode 334. Rockford Smith, Rockford Custom Paint, Gainesville, Georgia. The dude built a truck pretty much out of a catalog. Here we go.
But I'm thankful for this place. This place grew me. Boogie Nights was created here. The spirit was built from nothing here in this building. And I'm trying to recognize and savor these moments.
Damn, son. Auto Metal Direct, the leader in premium OE-style restoration parts for classic Chevy and GMC trucks. If you're building a C10, a K10, maybe a square body, AMD manufactures high-quality sheet metal, trim, glass, and restoration components designed for OE-style fit and factory-correct body lines. These aren't generic panels. AMD develops its own tooling using modern manufacturing processes to deliver consistent stampings and proper gauge steel, built for builders who care about doing it right. Damn, son. Whether you're restoring a 67 to 72, bringing a square body back from the brink, or finishing off a clean driver, AMD supports the trucks and the community we talk about here on the pod. Check them out at autometaldirect.com and follow them on social media to see product features, installs, and behind-the-scenes manufacturing content. Auto Metal Direct, investing in the trucks and the people that make this community so damn awesome.
Let me tell you what Melba's Toast is packing right here. All right, we've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, scored over 30, 11-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind? That just happened.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 Truck podcast.
And now I have a chance to be the best, maybe the best in the world.
My old man is a television repairman. Got the ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
I said I got 50 cents in that jukebox, and all I can hear is your mouth clapping. You hear that?
Here's your host, Ronnie Welch.
What's up? What's up? Coming at you with another episode. Have you had a chance to listen to 332 or 333? 331 is David Carroll, NorCal Garage, little autocross in his 74 K5 Blazer. And then in 333, we interview 4 different shows talking about their shows, format, what days, and what to expect. 4 shows that I have never been to. So I wanted to reach out to those folks and, chat it up. So check it out. 333 playing now on a pod near you. Rockford Smith. So you might know the truck. A lot of AMD love on this truck, and Spirit of 76, or the Spirit truck, 4x4 that Rockford put together, and it's pretty badass. So I thought, hey, let's chat it up. Ran into him at SEMA 2025. He's been to a few different shows, and his truck has recently graced the cover of Classic Truck Performance. So pretty awesome stuff. Thought we would sit down and chat it up with him. A few other things. I really want to make sure everybody has a great 4th and talk a little bit about that. 250 years, so amazingly awesome. It really is. We're so blessed, and we're just so lucky to live in the greatest country. I love the soccer and the World Cup and what's happened, or the football, what's going on with so many people that are coming to our country, and just shining a really positive light on what we hopefully already know is just an amazing place to live. We're lucky to be here, and I love America, so I hope you do as well. A somber note, as of this morning, I saw that Tammy France, Scott's wife, posted that Scott France passed away this past weekend. And I don't know if you knew Scott. I'm going to dig up some old interviews with Scott, but man, he was such a good dude. We just connected. I think he had that feeling, that presence for a lot of people. He was a listener. He was a truck guy at heart, a mini trucker, a fabricator, just a really amazing man. So if you don't know who Scott France is, he works for Classic Car Garage. He is a master metal man, fabricator, mender. The dude could build just about anything. Scott Rod Custom. Check him out. He did come out to the reunion. I've had the chance to reach out to different folks and talk to him about coming out and being our guest of honor at the reunion. And Tammy and Scott came out year before last. And I'm just really glad they did. I'm actually just blown away by the loss of Scott France. Great man, great husband, friend, and a big part of our scene. He will be missed for sure. So rest in peace, my brother. We never know. So life will come at you kind of fast. Happy 4th, you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Hope you enjoy episode 334 with Rockford. That's it. Take care, guys. Peace. What up, C10 Nation, coming at you. Another episode 334. We've got Rockford Smith out of Gainesville, Georgia. Not Florida. I almost said Florida. Georgia, just north of Atlanta. And this has been a little bit of a long time coming. I know, SEMA, you put together one of the baddest trucks. It's cool that we have the 250 coming up, 1976 to obviously 2026. Rockford, welcome to the pod, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Glad to be here.
Appreciate it. So how do you get a name like Rockford? Is that like Rockford Files, or did your dad just like loving watching the Rockford Files? And he's like, hey, babe, I got a great idea. We're going to name this kid Rockford. And she's like, it's probably going to be a girl, babe. And he's like, okay, that's cool. But if it's a boy, I want to name it Rockford.
That's funny. Yeah. You were actually right about that. They did think I was going to be a girl. Because they were trying to manifest that I was going to be a girl. So they even painted the room pink and everything, because I have 2 older brothers, and they were like, we are sick of boys. We want a girl. And then as soon as they found out I was going to be a boy, they were like, oh, geez, can't have another one of these. Dad used to watch the Rockford Files, and he always thought that was an interesting name. And my grandpa did too. He thought that was just an interesting name, and stuck. It was either that or Sebastian, and I'm really glad it's not Sebastian.
How about your older brothers? Do they have unique names as well?
Cole and Riley.
Close to home. So I have a really good friend of mine, and he had 2 boys, and it was supposed to be a girl. And he said, okay, if it's a boy, like a real single-digit %. This is 20 years ago, so it's not like we didn't have ultrasound. And he said, can I name him Johnny Cash? And so sure enough, comes out, it's a boy, Johnny Cash. And then my brother,
Nice.
2 boys, they think it's a girl. My brother and I painted the room pink. They had picked the name, everything. And I get a call from my brother, and he's like, dude, you're never going to believe this. It's a 3rd boy. So Molly became Cooper. And Cooper is this big old behemoth of a boy. So it's pretty crazy how, man, if the hot dog is tucked in there and they can't see it, I guess it's a little harder to tell. So what a cool name. Did you like Rockford growing up? Were you like, yeah, that's a cool name? Did they call you Rock? Did they call you Ford? Did you think you had to buy Ford trucks? Anything?
Yeah, I did like Rockford. I played a little football growing up, so the name Rock kind of stuck. A lot of my friends, they still call me Rock. It's either Rock, Rocky, but yeah, I've always liked the name. But what I don't like is if I have to go to Chick-fil-A or anywhere where they ask for your name, it's like every time they say, can I get a name for the order? I go, Rockford, and they go, what? And I'm like, yeah, Rockford. And they're like, oh, what an interesting name. And then it goes into a whole thing. And I'm like, just give me my food. So I usually just say Rocky in times like that.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a guy at work, his name is Smith, and so we just call him Smitty. How did Rockford get into building trucks and painting body?
First car I got was a 2006 Ford Mustang as a 16-year-old. So it was bright red, automatic. So I did what every 16-year-old would do and wrecked it as many times as I possibly could. And my parents said, we got you the car. Everything else is on you. So had to fix it multiple times, had to learn how to do paint and body work from YouTube and Google and everything I possibly could, and going to local shops up in my area and getting them to mix me some paint and with them and getting pointers. And my dad, he did construction growing up. So he had a cabinet shop where he would spray cabinets. Painted my first car in there and just kind of loved it, got into it, loved painting it. So even if I didn't wreck it, I would just paint it a different color. It was bronze, it was black, it was red, it was like all these different colors that I would just repaint it. And then got out of high school, followed my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife. Followed her down to UGA where she was at school, found a local shop down there, and it was a European shop. They did Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes, a lot of European stuff, and worked underneath a guy, Robert Parks down here, worked underneath him. He was the lead painter. Really just dove into it from there and just went crazy with it. And the shop owner at that shop, he let me learn. And I was very fortunate that he just let me learn. He was like, whatever you want to do, if you want to stay late and paint stuff, use the booth, use the paint, leave some leftover paint, learn how to paint. I would get in the booth and just try to screw up and try to learn how to fix those problems, and just dove more into it from there. Met Brian Fuller from Atlanta and then went and worked for him for a while and really just dove even further into it with the paint and the body and the high end hot rods. And then from there, met Cato. Yep. And we did Boogie Nights. And that was my gateway drug into the C10s and K10s, and I got hooked up with AMD through them. Everything unfolds, and then we did the Spirit of 76.
Yeah, what a cool journey. No, I just feel like you talked about a journey that I think is necessary and so important and valuable. Where you're like, hey, people empowered you. They gave you a place to learn. They gave you a place to mess up. But you also were, it sounds like, just relishing that experience. So with that, I just feel like today's world, they want to go right to the finish line. And a young man is like, okay, 2 months later, I should be running the shop. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, that's just not how it works. You have to get that OJT, that experience, that busted knuckle experience from shop sweeping the floors to learning it the hard way, doing it again, starting over, do the body work, spend the time. And so what do you see out there? What would you recommend? And what's the best approach to that? Because from the sounds of it, you had a pretty good journey. And even though you're expressing that journey in a few minutes, it probably was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, it was about 10 years.
Okay.
Or I guess all the way from 16. I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
So 11-year process. And I'm still learning today. And I think you were saying people think they should just start learning and then immediately open up a shop. I think social media, it's great. People see it and they think that people can build something super quick, pick up stuff. TIG welding looks easy, metal shaping looks easy, body work looks easy, all online. So I think it's flawed people's mind a little bit. And I was right at the beginning of like where social media was really taking off on at least that side of it. I just didn't see that. And to me, it was the grind. I didn't care about what anybody else thought. It was just, I want to better myself. I want to learn as much as I can. And it takes that mindset of just the obsession of the craft to get you where you need to be. And just also understanding that you're never that guy. That guy is you 10 years from now. So you need to keep chasing you 10 years from now. Don't ever be like, yeah, I'm the best. This is the best paint job. It can't get better than this. It's just about looking at it and saying, how can I make this better on the next one? And that's what I keep pushing on everything.
And I almost wonder that if we're moving so fast now that it's hard to get the kids to slow down enough to embrace that experience.
Yeah, I know. We joke about it and talk about it. I got some younger cousins, and I'm like, y'all are like the most cocoa melon kids. You just, it's like the addiction to the phone and like social media. It's an instant gratification, and man, y'all aren't going to learn these crafts. Like, it's not fit for that attention span. So you got to have the self discipline to almost separate yourself and be like, okay, I am going to slow down.
Yeah.
I want to learn this craft.
I think it's a dopamine dump that people get all the time. They get it from gaming, they get it from and learning and knowing that, hey, at the end of the tunnel, you're going to have a light. It's just going to take a couple years, and it's through that you'll get a lot of experience and be able to be the master of your craft or higher level professional of your craft. And another thing too is with the stimulation and maybe, I don't know if I'd call it boredom, but the level of just the kids are competing with or the jobs are competing with the games, is people don't want to stay at one spot, right? So they move, and we see that in the trades here too. Like, hey, you got to give it 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Walk into a shop and immediately think that it's like, this is going to be great. It's not. Now I got to just jump ship to another shop. Don't ever give it time to marinate and form something.
Perfect word, the marination of it, the grind. So Boogie Nights, one of my favorite trucks, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Cato and you and the colors. I love the way that you guys did the colors, but more importantly is you didn't do just like a vinyl stripe. You guys painted all that. You put that funk, you put that vibe in there.
That truck was kind of like the Spirit was. It was a fast build. It was like 10 months. And then the Spirit was the same thing. It was like 10 months. But we just flew through it. We had a vision. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to kind of do some Ford inspired kind of 70s stripes on that truck, the kind of the panel side graphics, the way they were broken up. But we knew we wanted to go green. We said we need to do avocado. So that's what we named it, avocado. So we knew we wanted to do green, and I flipped through the paint chip book. We had the main color picked out, and I flipped through, and Cato told me, he said, just let your instinct just grab a hold of it. Just whatever you first see that you like, just pick it. And that's what he told me. And he was a big inspiration of getting me where I needed to be. But I did that. I just flipped, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that." And then flipped and was like, "Ooh, I like that." And I picked 6 options, and then I presented them to him. I had the main color, had all the other colors laid out, some different variations. And then Cato looked up, he looked down, and he did the same thing. He went, that one, those are the stripe colors. And that was the decision. And we threw all the other ones away, and we knew that was what we were doing. And
you're a little young for this, but when I walked around the corner at SEMA and I saw this truck, it was such a blast from my childhood, because we had avocado appliances. Meaning, okay, our fridge, our stove was avocado. Our carpet was a brown, orange, yellow shag. The Tupperware that my mom had was orange, yellow, and green. And so I walk around the corner and I'm like, dude, what is the deal with this truck? They just nailed it. And then the bike in the back and the flow, and it was a home run. What a cool experience too for you to work with somebody like that is motivating you, that's inspiring you, and then to get on that level, on that platform really quick in your career.
God, yeah. And I think back on it, and it's just, even now, it just seems like a blur almost of just how fast everything is moving. The older I'm getting, the more I'm like, I need to slow down and really savor all these moments. Even if it sucks, I really need to savor this. I really need to. And I wish I savored more of those experiences working on that truck. But I think I was like 23 or 24 when I did that truck. It was the first time I ever laid stripes before. So all those hand laid stripes, I did. That was the first time I ever did that. First time going to SEMA. First time doing something that level. And it was all, every bit of that was a first for me. And Cato knew how to push me. And so I try to take that and give that back to my employees now. And you got to treat people with respect and try to tell them also savor this because it was their first time going out to SEMA with the Spirit. And I was like, just take it in, Don't rush through it.
Yeah, good. I think just for you to have the maturation to see that and understand that. And again, going back to that life lesson part we were talking about earlier is like you at the moment when he's pushing you and you're doing those long nights and just days and it's hot and you're trying to get ready and there's the deadline and the pressure, it's not the best. But when you're done and you're sitting there and you're watching people look at it and you're seeing the response in the magazine and the coverage and getting the love, you're like, we pulled it off. And to do it at such a young age, 23, 24 years old, it really is. It's a cool thing. And it's cool for you to think that you're going to try to slow it down. I like that you're even on your radar because that just shows that you're like, hey man, it moves fast. Ferris Bueller said it, man. Life comes at you pretty fast. And it's just the older you get, the faster it goes, man. It flies. And then when you take on projects like Boogie Nights and the Spirit, it goes fast because you're just constantly grinding and you got to find that balance.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's not that we're slowing down the work. It's like the work keeps ramping up, but it's, I try to take these moments where I'm like, I can take 2 seconds and just look around, especially now we're building a new shop up a little bit more north. But so I'm down here in the Sweatbox shop that I've been renting for the past 7 years. It started as a hobby shop and now it's it turned into an actual shop. And then we expanded again. And we outgrew the shop that we're in right now. It's hot. There's no bathroom. We go pee next to the dumpster. And I'm just trying to take it in. I'm like, really sucks here. Sweating my nuts off. And I'm sick of this place, but I'm thankful for this place. This place grew me. Boogie Nights was created here. The Spirit was built from nothing here in this building. And I'm trying to recognize and savor these moments.
Hey guys, are you thinking about swapping out your old motor for a more reliable LSLT based power plant? Behind each PSI harness, you get over 10 years of experience in the business, online tech support, phone support, and harnesses made in the U.S. That's psiconversion.com. Have you guys heard of Doja Mat? Retro mats done right. You know those classic floor mats we all grew up with? Well, Doja Mat has created that same classic style with all of your favorite slogans. Dent side, bull nose, 4x4, high boy, bump side, truckin' with the horns, of course, and so much more. Check them out at dojamat.com. That's DOJAMAT.com. Dojamat.com. Retro mats done right. You've heard me talk about my gauges. Dakota Digital. I love them. Dakota Digital has the best gauges for our trucks. These kits are complete with sensors for any engine. They look just like the stock clusters, but have all the technology you'd expect from Dakota Digital. It's like a modern truck, but even better in a classic. Dakota Digital is absolutely the best in aftermarket gauges, so check them out at dakotadigital.com. dakotadigital.com.
Boogie Nights was created here. The Spirit was built from nothing here in this building. And I'm trying to recognize and savor these moments.
Yeah. Whoa. So how did the Spirit come about for the audience? Spirit 76 4x4, completely 100% AMD sheet metal, no original. You guys get together, I'm assuming. Did you pitch AMD? Did they pitch you? Did you guys say we need to come up with something and walk us through that? And I think it was just in one of my magazines. So yeah, you're getting all kinds of love. So it's awesome.
I know. Yeah, it was just on the cover of Classic Truck Performance. It came out for
awesome.
July, obviously. But so we did, of course, Boogie Nights. And then after that,
you broke up a little bit. So
we did Boogie Nights. And then a little bit after that, we stayed in contact because they were just right down the street from me. They're about 20 minutes from my shop. And we just knew we wanted to do something else and kept talking about it. And we pitched a couple ideas here and there. And then Eddie He mailed me a little Matchbox car of the Spirit of 76, mailed it to me, and was like, I got an idea. He's like, we got to build this. He's like, 250 years. I'll give the credit to Eddie. He's the one who came up with it. And it was all about, he was like, we're going to slam it on the ground, put it on bags, lower it. And because that's kind of his style. And we was telling my wife about it. And I was like, we're going to do this project, and was telling her about it. And didn't tell her it was going to be lower, just kind of showed her the truck and stuff. And she was like, are you going to be lifted? And I was like, no, no. And she was like, no, you need to do it lifted. Everywhere, every show we go to, they're always lowered. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do a lifted truck. That's that becomes a lot more of a truck to build. And she was like, oh no, you should definitely do that. The reason it's lifted is because of her. And she's very involved in the creative side, business and stuff. We just got started from there and went and picked up a million boxes from AMD and built the cab in house. And so we have a big spot welder to do the pressure spot welds and spot weld the whole cab together. And just started from there. I built a whole jig system to hold the cab and hold the front end so I could build the truck without using the frame. So I could build the frame and the truck separate and not have to keep test fit and everything, just with our timeline. It was still up in the air of taking it to SEMA. At the beginning, it was like, we're just going to build this truck for fun and take it to some local shows. And if it comes up, it goes to SEMA, great. But the intention was not for it to be at SEMA. But the more we got into it, the more we were like, this would probably be good to do. And one of my other buddies, Thomas Dickerson, who won the Young Gun, he's right down the street from me. And so he was talking, he was like, dude, you need to go for the Young Gun. They do a golden ticket thing for any builder under 29 you can put in, and it's like a pre-competition before the competition. They select 10 builders around the country and they give you a golden ticket, and they'll pay for you to go out there, trailer it out there, set you up a hotel, get the whole thing, and then you get that guaranteed boost spot at SEMA. So applied, went through the process, and we got it. So that's how it got out to SEMA.
And it got a lot of eyes on it, got a lot of love. Had you seen anything like it before? Like Todd Big Fish, he has an original. Once you dove in and you thought about from the Freedom machines to the Spirit of 76 to the GMC version, the Chev version, obviously Eddie had given you the Hot Wheels Matchbox. What does that work through when you're thinking, okay, this, of all the options that we have, this is what we're going to do, and then we're going to lay it all out, we're going to do some paint colors and design the whole thing?
Yeah, so I've always loved that truck. I've never seen it in person. Really, I was messaging him on Instagram, and I was like, please come to Dino's. I really wanted to see both of the trucks together. I thought that would be cool because I think he's in Nebraska or
Yeah, the truck is right now is actually in Texas it'll be out at Ends in the Park, Square Body USA, which Terry Hill has it in Waxahachie, and then they're going to have it at C10's in the Park this year for the 250.
I guess I got to go to Texas then.
Todd had sold that to Dave from Restore a Muscle Car, and then Todd bought it back. So Todd has it. It was out in Texas. They shipped it out to get it ready for this year and the show. And it's an awesome truck. It's all original. It was actually from Phoenix, and it was bought here, and Todd's had it for a long. Still has, I believe, the Midway Chevrolet dealership emblem on there. And yeah, it's a sweet truck. Has it done up really nice. And the cool thing too is the interior. So when you see a Spirit of 76 interior, you guys went a little different with your interior. Was there thought trying to match that more or less, or maybe your wife had some fun with that because, like you said, she's the decorator or the inspiration on some of those decisions?
Yeah, being that truck I didn't want to try to make it too much of a clone. Obviously, the stripes and everything makes it a clone. So the interior, originally I was going to do a dark blue because I was like, The white's just a little kind of hard to keep clean. And I was wanting to do some little Spirit of 76 badging and try to make it look like a little bit more modernized because we did the later interior on the early truck. So it's got the later door panels and dash. And originally it was going to be dark blue, but then talking more with Cato, because he did the interior on it, he was like, no, you got to do it white. He was like, they were white originally. You got to do it white. And he told me kind of what to get. He was like, yeah, we'll 3D print something to go around the shifters. You get cup holders, wireless charger. He's going to do his lower dark door, little speaker things underneath the door panels, and then extend the door pockets and just wrapped the crap out of everything in that white leather. So it was a little inspo of just wanting to keep it a little original. The inserts are Dixon flannel on the inside. We put those inserts in like, I think 2 days before it left Cato's shop to go to SEMA, because we were just scrambling to try to find something because we ordered some material in that we thought was going to look good and checked it out, and we got it in and it was like, this does not look good. Dixon flannel hooked up with them and they were like, yeah, we got some of these blue shirts if you want to come grab them. And they overnighted them and we used those and it worked out good. They sent us like plenty of material.
It sounds like you said they sent you plenty of material. The only thing I always stress about with white leather is I just don't want it to get dirty. So have you put enough ass on the seat, and are you affecting the cleanliness of it, or do you try to put something down before you jump in and drive it all around?
Yeah, we have a blanket that we put down when we drive around, but it's Born Child's leather. It's cleans really good, actually, surprisingly. So the seats actually have not got dirty at all. The steering wheel, though, is the hardest thing to keep clean. That is the hardest thing to keep clean because you'll look at your hands and you're like, yeah, my hands are clean. I'm going to go wash my hands just to be safe. We'll go around it, drive it, go into town. And then I'm like, how's the steering wheel dirty? The steering wheel's dirty already. That was like the only thing I wish we would have done different, but it looks great. It looks killer. Every show we go to, people are like, ooh, white? That's nice. But it's tough.
So yeah, you need some white gloves those real soft cotton gloves, and you put them on when you drive around or something. When you look back, what would you change if you could change anything on that build, if anything at all? Or
here. Let me get my big stack of lists out. What are the things I would change? That was my first build ever, besides Cato's, which I didn't do the full build. It was just mainly paint and body that I did on Cato's. But that was the first time I was in charge of mechanical, suspension. I built the motor, did everything on that truck myself. It was a huge learning curve. Radiator fan setup, that was one that I learned. Just don't cheap out on that. I bought some cheaper ones and just from a couple test miles, we were like, oh, this thing's kind of getting hot. Had to pull all that out, put new stuff in, and finally get the cooling down a little bit better because the fans weren't pulling. And so one of the things I learned was just don't cheap out. You're going to buy stuff twice. So just don't cheap out. Just buy once, cry once.
Now, did you say that you built the chassis for that, or did you guys find a chassis and then freshen it up?
Yeah, we found a chassis and freshened it up. So I bought the whole running and driving K10 off Facebook Marketplace for I think like $500, and body was kind of toast on it, but the frame looked really good, and junked everything else. Got the frame and cleaned it up. It was a long bed, shortened it, and then just cleaned up everything and reinforced a couple of areas, and then sent it out for powder coat. But
Cool.
So I guess that's about the only original part.
And it has a 4-inch lift, or is it 6?
It's a 4-inch lift.
4-inch with 35s?
33s.
Okay.
We originally got 35s to go on it, but I don't know. They could not clear. I could not get them to clear. I don't know if it was backspacing that I picked, but they would not clear the
10-inch wheel.
It's a 10-inch wheel.
When you go with a 10-inch, it's tough because it looks cool, but that front clearance is tough on that front corner.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I mocked everything up, I was like, oh no, already bought tires and everything. Yeah. I had to swap that out. And it's all a learning process. Learn to check that stuff now before it's painted
So
and before you
now
go ahead and
you take it out to shows, and it's a piece for you guys, obviously. Advertising shows what you can do. Do you have certain shows that you want to hit with it?
yeah, so the next one we're gonna be hitting is the Good Guys up in Columbus. I know we're gonna do Triple Crown, and the big one that we're pushing on right now is Columbus, Ohio.
Cool. That's a big show. It'll do well there. Are you going to be
Mhm.
just attached with AMD or in a booth? And then are you traveling with those guys to help out from that marketing perspective for both of you?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're actually doing a big show in up there. We're building an entire 74 from scratch. Though we got a chassis for it, and we're taking all the AMD panels. We just got a brand new cab that we're going to put on the chassis, and then build the bed there, build the front end, put lights in it, put trim on it, and we're going to build a truck from scratch in front of everybody's like live audience. So I'm not going to have my own booth, but the truck will be there in their
Yeah,
booth, and I'm going to be
that's cool.
busy building a truck.
In their booth as well, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but you're going to have the cab already done. You guys will build the cab before you take it out.
Yeah. So we won't have to sling sparks and weld there.
Are you guys
So
still doing cabs? Is there time for that still to really try to push cabs as much as at one point? I think it was you and Mark Oya out here, Square Body
Mhm.
Headquarters. He was working on some of that, and then you guys as well.
so we were building them over here on the East Coast, and I had to really dial that back. I was just waiting to get into the new shop. It's just been a little chaotic right now with trying to finish the new shop and finish up down here and hitting shows, and so it's been chaotic couple months.
One of the conversations I've had with Mark is, and I'll take the devil's advocate on this, and you come in with the Rockford advocate on this, is I see the cabs, I see the pricing, but I can buy a truck sometimes for cheaper than just the cab, and I can find, now I'm in Arizona, so I can find some cheaper cabs. Are you surprised that there's a demand for the cabs as much as at least I perceive there is? Especially my perception is that there's a demand, a decent demand, but I have an asterisk by that because I'm like, dude, why don't these guys just go buy? And I'm not trying to take anything away from you guys, but
Mhm.
I guess I'm surprised sometimes. And maybe people they buy them and they buy a truck and then they're not happy with it, or they're like, hey, I got to tear the truck apart. I got to buy the cab. I got to have it blasted. I have to have it sealed, so on and so forth.
100% agree. I think the square body market they made it so many of those trucks. There's so many out there. So I think the guy building a truck in his garage, doing a project like that, I think it makes more sense for him to do some panels and do a rocker, because out here in Georgia, every square body's got rust. All of
Mm-hmm.
them need all of them need floor patches. They all need rockers. They all need lower door skins, like cab corners and lower fenders, like every single one of them. And usually the beds are rotten out too. But you can just buy those panels and fix them. Buy those from AMD and cut them out and repair them. And so if you're willing to put in the work, that's the cheaper way to do it. But what I've noticed with the cabs and people we've sold them to, and I guess Mark as well, people he's sold them to, they're going more towards the bigger builders, people that are building a truck, and speed is more of what they're after. And they're already heavily modifying them. They want a clean slate, and they're looking at it like, hey, this truck needs rockers, it needs a floor, it needs doors. With our labor, because some people are $150, $200 an hour, they look at the price point and they're like, okay, we could order a brand new cab.
There in Atlanta.
Different people are different things, but I'm 100 an hour.
Okay, yeah, that's probably about the average, right? I hear 125, 135 here. Some guys I know are 70 to 85, and I think a lot of it has to do with what's your reputation.
Yeah.
And the new
So
shop be not that far from the shop where you're at now.
it's about an hour north.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so we're a little bit further, but we don't have a lot of local guys that we do work for. I have a couple real good local customers, but most of our stuff that we get is from here and there and wherever, hours away. Wherever I'm at doesn't really affect my business. We're not gonna, even at the new shop, like here, we don't have a sign or anything. At the new shop, we're not putting a sign or anything. I kind of run most of my stuff through kind of word of mouth and linking up with other builders.
Sure. Are you already cooking up the next project? Are you going to add a Porsche because you kind of come from that world and you love a Porsche? Are you already getting hit up from clients about, hey, I see what you guys do. I like your funk. I like your vibe. I like the stripes. And I want you to build me this. Vintage Air. 50 years, 1976 to 2026, San Antonio, Texas. Whether your truck had AC or not, Vintage Air has a solution for you and your project. Their Gen 5 SureFit kits feature new, larger blowers, OEM-style injected molded cases, full electronic slide controls, replacing older cables, allowing for smooth slide functions when changing flow and temp. And that, my friends, is why Vintage Air has been in business for 50 years. VintageAir.com. USA1Industries.com. Your square body source. Used them for my SEMA build. I've been pimping out their dashes for so long, 10 plus years. And people would always ask me, where's the best dash pad? USA1 Industries. USA1 Industries, without a doubt. So the team over there has been so supportive to me, my build. I get on their website, their process, it's easy, it flows. I can know what parts. And sometimes, honestly, I'm not even sure what parts I need, but when I go through the website, it kind of cues my mind, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should buy that. Oh yeah, I need that. It was extremely helpful. I got 2 large shipments when I was doing the Big Sky Bonanza build, and it saved me. It really did, to know, oh yeah, I'm glad that I ordered that. So when you're going through a big build, think USA1 Industries. Great support, fast shipping. Everything came just as I needed it to. And honestly, their packaging and their labeling was great. So I would be going through packages and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is this grommet. Oh yeah, this is this hardware. So support those guys, USA1Industries.com. And we appreciate all their support. Check them out, guys. 73 to 91. You need it. They got it. They ain't got it. You don't need it. Are you already getting hit up from clients about, hey, I see what you guys do. I like your funk. I like your vibe. I like the stripes. And I want you to build me this.
So yeah, we've got a couple builds in the work right now. None of them are trucks though. We got a split bumper 1970 Camaro and then we got a 69 Camaro that we're working on right now, full builds. And then we have all of our paint work that we do on the side. But I don't do a ton of full builds. They're fun to do. So we have a couple of those going. But mainly we link up with other shops. So I don't know, I guess you've seen it. Pools Mill Hot Rods. They're in Cumming, Georgia. They're building Squared. And it's a super radical square body that they are just doing everything to. That thing is so cool. And we're doing the paint work on it. So we got the truck now and we're doing finalizing some gaps and we're going to do all the body work, all the paint work and send it back to them so they can finish the build. I went out there on the early stages of it, looked at it, told them kind of what I wanted to see and hey, can you tweak this? This will make my life easier if you do this. So we can get something really good for the customer by just that communication.
Do you find that allows you and your guys to just get in that flow because you're doing that paint and body, you're working on the 69, you're working on the 70, you're working on the square versus when you take on the full projects, there's a lot of little distractions and things that aren't in the 5 to 10 normal workflow where you're expanding to 100 different things like you experienced with your first full build?
Yeah, I love doing the paint jobs because we have this flow. Everybody knows what we're doing, and everybody kind of specializes in different parts of the job. And so we get them in, and we're like, all right, finalize some gaps, check over stuff, check fitment, blast it apart, clean up all the metal prep, and it's just there's no surprises. We know what we got to do. Everybody's accomplishing the goal, and it's a craft. They're sculpting a car that will spend hours and hours, months on the bottom side, top side, get everything just perfect. And there's a process, and I love the process. And then you get that little creative outlet of the couple builds we have going on. But the thing that keeps the shop flowing is those paint jobs.
That's you need to put a sign in the new shop. Not necessarily I love the process, but trust the process and that grind. I don't think I've ever asked this in all the pods because you work on a variety of different things from GMs. You got a 69 to 70, you got Camaro, you got a square body truck. Is there a style that you like, a metal, not necessarily whether it's GM, Ford, Dodge, Mopar? Is there something where you're like, God, this is such a well-built vehicle, or God, this thing's a POS?
It is interesting. Definitely, you can tell with the early trucks, like the early Chevrolet trucks and Ford trucks. God, you can tell that they were just meant to be throwaway trucks. Like when you start trying to modify some of like the Apache trucks and stuff, they're like the firewalls, there's like no support in them. They're floppy. You put aftermarket hinges on them, and it's just like you could see the firewall like bracing wasn't there. Door hinges were kind of eh. Yeah, you get further and further into the stuff, get up to square bodies, they're way better. They got better hinges, they got better this, they got better that, but they still kind of have that American manufacturing kind of shims, and might be a stack of shims here on a factory truck, and on the other side, they're like that many shims. I don't think that the American cars and trucks really caught up to the European stuff until the 90s. Like with the OBS truck, you could tell from a square body to an OBS truck, the fit and finish on them is like night and day. An OBS still isn't great, but there weren't packs of shims that were half an inch thick. But
Yeah.
I love working on the European stuff. They're like, to me, anytime I do a paint job on one of those or rust repair or anything, I'll give it to the Germans. They can build a really nice car.
That's cool. That's cool to hear that perspective. And I think we know that. I think we know Japanese electronics is very high quality. I think we know German Euro automotive is pretty high quality. But maybe more the Germans, because you think BMWs and Range Rovers probably aren't, at least they don't tell me quality. I think they look cool. But again, then I think because the GM stuff and even the Ford stuff, but especially for us, the Chev GM stuff it's just crazy. It's still on the road today. We can get parts for it. It's not hard. And so maybe they did know what they were doing in building something that would last for 50 plus years, and they could be redone, restored, rebuilt, and it'll last another 50 years. It's freaking crazy.
That a little bit with the Ford stuff, but I feel like, yeah, Chevy, if that's cars or trucks, they're just, everybody has memories in them. Everybody loves a square body or a 670-72 or an Apache. Everybody's got a memory or something that connects them to it. And yeah, and they're so much easier to work on than a Mopar. The fact that the Spirit's a perfect example. You can get everything for one. And
build it out of a catalog.
Yeah, and they're nice parts. They're not junk.
Yeah, it is cool. I know a lot of my Mopar buddies, they get mad. You see, but if I gave you $100,000 right now, what would you buy and what would you build?
Holy moly, what a question. What would I buy and what would I build? Is it two separate questions, or do I have to build it, or can I just buy it and enjoy it?
You could do both. Yeah. It's your money. It's 100 grand. What are you doing with it?
Man, that changes with the wind. It really does, of what I'm into. I'd say right now, it'd probably be like a really killer patina, either 670 72 or like a square body. I think that just fits my lifestyle a little bit better right now. I like going fast. I like the sports cars, but I just like the more raw feeling that you get from something older. I love the Spirit because it's all brand new, and when we're riding in it, I think about it. I'm like, this truck didn't exist. Like, I'm driving in something that never existed. But I do love driving old stuff, like old trucks, because you're like, man, the memories. You think about the miles, who owned this, and so I think that that would be something I would probably own, is try to find something that had some old school graphics on it that was like a survivor build, and then maybe do some suspension upgrades, a little motor upgrade, leave the outside nice.
I love that because a painter is saying he doesn't want a painted truck. He wants a Mother Nature. And you're like, it's like the plumber that his toilets broke, or the painter, the house painter that his house is peeling, or whatever. And it's, I don't want a painted truck. And you're like, yeah, maybe someday, but right now I want to get in something that I can just rip the road and enjoy
Mhm.
that sun-kissed 50, 60-year-old paint that looks
Yeah,
just so cool.
yeah. Because being a painter, even if I decided to get something and did a quick paint job on it, like I had a little race car, little old Porsche, and I did just like a quick paint job on it, and everybody gave me crap about it. They were like, this thing looks like crap compared to everything else you do. Like, this is the worst marketing thing that you drive around. And so I think that's why I want something patinaed, because on my own stuff, I just want to do a quick, cheap, easy paint job and not cut and buff it and spend hours and hours and hours on it. I want to do something that I don't mind getting rock chips and little door dings, and I can go park it wherever. That's what I like.
When you guys built the Spirit, what was the hardest part? When you take, for the audience, we're empowering you to say that you can do it. You can build a truck out of a catalog. You're going to need some room. What part for you and your team was one of the hardest parts to create, gap, build, mend, mold?
To me, is when I got to the wiring. That's where I really have to slow down. I'm not good at wiring, so I had to get my buddy Wes. I'm actually wearing his shirt, Motor Vitals, out in Tucker, Georgia. He helped me a ton on that. So that's all he does, is wiring and plumbing, and he works with other builders. They'll paint something, bring him a bare shell, and then he'll finish it from there. So he helped me a ton when it got to wiring, because I was just did not know what was going on.
Was that a
But
kit? Did you use a kit?
we use Painless. Yep, Painless and Phytech. Which, still, the instructions were really easy, but still, it's not my wheelhouse, not my nomenclature. That's not what I do. I'd rather the professionals who do that every day take care of it. I did the bulk of the work, got the wiring laid how I wanted, had everything hooked up, had the Venager mounted, Dakota digital gauges mounted, had everything in place. And we trailered the truck over to his shop and spent 2 days over there. And he finished up his last little things, checked over all my work, made everything communicate with each other, and then busted it off. That was, to me, the hardest part was just getting it over there. And then just, it's the unknown is what it really was.
I think because you built it from scratch, again, kudos. But when you break down a vehicle that you're rebuilding, you have your camera that you're snapping and you're saying, okay, this goes here and this goes here, and I'm putting this in this bin and I'm putting this in this
Mhm.
bin. And so you have that directions to the Lego set, right? Or you're breaking it down and you kind of know. Or you have another vehicle out in the pasture that you can go look as a cheat code, and you don't have that. So you're like, hey, whether it's wiring or that's the hard part, is we think it's pretty easy. There's enough stuff on the internet, but there's still challenges to be like, there's a hole there. Does a bolt go there? There's this. Does this go there? And you're like, oh shit. Hey, Charlie, drive your truck over here real quick, or go out to the shop and take your phone and tell me where the hell this goes.
Yeah. No, you're actually, you're right. You're right. That was the worst part. Yeah. Because there was no instructions. There was no truck that we took apart. And there was many times that I got going and I was like, I'm missing something. There's something I'm missing, but I don't know what I'm missing. There's something that's supposed to go here. And they got the boneyard, all the trucks and stuff. There's multiple times that I'm like out there digging through different trucks and I'm like, what is this one stupid thing that's up in this? Oh my gosh. And you just didn't even realize you needed that because there was nothing you took off from there. You're putting everything new. So yeah, that was tough.
And I'm telling you from experience, I do it all the time. I love having a truck or two in the backyard that I can go look at and save some time. And I'll go there and then I'll try to get online. And you're like, okay, I just want to make sure. And sometimes I put things upside down and backwards. And you're like, that just doesn't look right. I don't remember that. We're lucky because we carry these phones around with us and we can snap so many videos and pictures. And just take your time. There's a guy that has like a caravan. And I forget his page. I haven't seen anything lately, but dude, this guy, the way he breaks it down and organizes stuff and labels it and then redoes it, that's the recipe. That's the way. Take the time, do it slow, go through it. Now I have the template, but I don't have the instructions. They didn't come with this truck.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah, because our normal process.
But that'd be cool if you sell that truck or something and you made like a little Legos instruction manual that came with it.
Yeah. No, our plan is to sell the truck at some point, and I have all these documents and everything that I've kept from it. And I've thought about that, about making a nice leatherback little booklet or something, because it's all still fresh in my mind. And the next guy is not going to be cussing me as much because then he'll be able to go through and be like, oh, this is where this is. Okay, easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could make it like a Lego. I could make it like a Lego layout.
How did you guys title it? Did you use the chassis that you had bought or the truck that you'd bought?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you had, at least it came with a title. I often get that. I think now these trucks are so damn old, you could create another title. There's got to be something that can be done.
The entire 10 months of that build, I searched and tried to find a reasonably priced truck that I could steal the VIN off of. So it could be an original Spirit of 76, but never found one. I found a long bed, like completely rusted out. It needed everything. The roof skin was like rusted out, but it was an original Spirit of 76. It had the interior, had all the little badges. It had everything that was local to me, but he still wanted it wanted $8,000 for nothing. And he was like, it's a Spirit of 76. And I was like, this one's not going to be them.
Yeah. I don't think people are going to care when they go to buy it. You're documenting the story and the adventure. And like you said, it's kind of cool. Nobody rode around in this. This is built from scratch. So they know what they're getting into. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So what's next? What's the 5-year plan? You guys are going to move into the shop. You're going to look at maybe amping up the cab program again. You've got a great relationship with AMD. You've got some shows that you guys are going to hit this summer, starting with Columbus, Ohio, and then making your way over to Tennessee for the Triple Crown of Rotting. What's next for you guys? Do you have some goals, some different things that you really want to accomplish over the next few years?
Mainly over the next few years, we just really want to get our new flow going at the new shop. I want to hire on maybe 3 more guys, get them on board. And I know it's going to just take time figuring out the layout of what flow works at the new shop, of this going to here. Since we built a brand new shop from the ground up, we tried to pre-plan as much as we can for storage. And here's what we'll do: metal work. This is closed off. This is the body shop. Keep all the dust down. But you know how things go. It's going to come up. You're going to figure out things. That's the goal, is just get some new guys in, get everybody trained up, get the new family going, and then get reestablished in a new area because I'll have to kind of get reestablished with new vendors up in this area because it's going to be a little bit too far for some of our vendors. So just taking it day by day. That's my 5-year plan.
Taking it day by day. Do you find that it's real hard to find help?
Yes and no. It seems like a lot of people, they really want to do this work. They have the want, but especially in the area that we're up in the country, up in the foothills of the mountains. So there's not a lot of big hot rod shops. A lot of people, they don't have that experience. They've worked at collision shops their entire life, but they've never done show car work. That's the hard part, is finding somebody who's got years of experience of doing show cars or doing hot rods. But to me, if they have the want to, the will to learn, they'll pick it up quick.
Do you look for a couple years experience in a collision shop and then they get in there and then you're spending some time with them, you and your team now, and really working through them and investing in them as well?
So, yep, that's what we do. A lot of times it seems like it takes about one car for people to really get the grasp of what you're doing. You got to see the process. And it's going to be a little struggle for that one person that's learning that came from a collision shop because it's very different. But once they see it, they're open minded and they want to do it, then they'll get to the end and be like, okay, I see the process. And then once the next one comes in, then they go, oh yeah, we did this on the last one, and then they just start picking it up. And that's what one of my guys right now, he came from a local technical school, so he helped out at another shop, just was kind of like a prepper, didn't do a lot of big work. I've taught him. His name's Max. I've taught him a bunch of stuff. I've cut and buffing, floating an entire car, doing high build primer, a little bit of paint work, and I got him to the point now when he can take in a car pretty much by himself and do everything. He's like, all right, doing metal prep, can do the work, get it primed, body work, float, and so he's got the process nailed down now.
Yeah, that's cool that you spend that time with them and teach them, and some are going to take to it, some are not, but ultimately it's an investment in your company as well and them. And like you said, you were there before too, and somebody did that. I think you mentioned his name, but somebody did that with you and took you in, and you might get somebody leaves and goes out on their own, and sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't, sometimes they make it, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's all about paying back into the universe is what it is. So right now I'm in Athens, Georgia, and so I'm driving about an hour every day to work, and then the new shop will be about 20 minutes from the house.
And then do you think some of the guys, like you said, they're kind of up there too, so that will make it a little easier for them as well?
So yeah, it's going to be a lot easier for everybody once we get up there. This has been a long time coming, so we've strategized and planned, and I had one guy working, but he didn't want to move, so he kind of slowly phased out. He started his own thing, and he still goes to shows with us. He's still part of the family, but I gave him plenty of heads up.
That's a big deal, right? If the guys are going with you, they're traveling with you, you're spending time off together, you're building that team and crew, and like you said, that family. So we appreciate it. I think it's exciting. The audience, you guys can check him out. Rockford Custom Paint. They're going to be moving an hour north. They're in Georgia. And yeah.
Mount Airy, Georgia. That's the little town we're in.
Mount Airy?
Yep, Mount Airy.
Okay. At Rockford Custom Paint. How about Facebook? You have a Facebook as well, or just IG?
Mainly just Instagram. It automatically goes to my Facebook. Most of the stuff, I'm not really into the tech stuff. I have a page, Rockford Custom Paint, Facebook page, but all my posts automatically upload to my personal page. So you can find me at Rockford Smith on Facebook, but mainly everything is through IG, Rockford Custom Paint.
Thanks for taking time, sitting down with us. We appreciate it. Have a great Columbus with everything you and the team have going on there. And I don't know if I'll get out to Triple Crown, but if I do, I'll come find you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, please do. Thank you so much.
You got it, buddy. Take care.
See ya.
That's a wrap. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Rockford for taking the time to sit down, share his story, adventure, growth. Pretty cool. And love the just the vibe. You know, he's got a talent. He's a young man. He's obviously grinding away and growing and pursuing a dream. It's pretty cool the way that start off in the garage working on Dad's cabinets and cupboards, and next thing you know, you're building a 5,000 square foot shop, and dreams do come true. So love the grind, love his vibe, and check out those builds from Boogie Nights to the Spirit 76, and who knows what else we'll see from the Rockford Custom Paint Garage. All right, guys, have a hell of a 4th. Happy 250 America. You guys be safe. Don't blow your freaking hands off. Late.